Good afternoon and welcome to the interview section of Mijas International. Now, foodies and wine lovers will especially like our guests today, Alison and Steve Hyatt. They're from the Blue Marlin Seafood and Wine Bar. It's a seafood restaurant and wine bar. And it's based in Torrenueva, Mijas Costa, and they opened it in May this year. And of course, as it's Wednesday, we have Sandy Mellule, the managing editor of the Key to Mijas Costa magazine, which of course is a very handy size magazine. It's packed with information about the area and tips and all sorts of different subjects, so we'll find out more about it. Good afternoon to both of you.
Good afternoon, Karen.
Good afternoon. Sandy, you have a great What's On guide prepared for us, for our viewers. It includes concerts, charity events, and of course there's a book signing as well, among others. So we'll catch up with you later in the programme regarding this. And Alison and Steve, you've got extensive experience between you both in the hospitality sector. Steve, you have 46 years experience as a chef and have won many awards. And Alison, you started in the hospitality sector when you were at the age of 17. And we say no more about that. And we're going to find out all about it in a minute. But why did you choose to live in this area and set up a business in this area of La Cala de Mijas?
Well,
it's not La Cala, really, it's Mijas Costa.
Yeah.
We've been coming to this area for quite a few years, as we have been and still are members of Club La Costa. So when we closed the restaurants in the winter, we would come out here for a couple of weeks to relax, and we found the area really appealing. And from that we had the idea, well, if we're going to move from Scotland, where would we like to move to? And we thought this would be the ideal location, because it's not too far away from friends and family. You're only like a 3-hour trip.
True.
And the people are great here, the climate is fantastic, and we just love the area. But there's everything you need here. In fact, you don't actually have to leave Spain, because it's got everything you need.
Yeah. And of course you had plenty of time to take a look at the area, as you say, because you were part of the Club La Costa points or club system, weren't you?
And of course we were here at the quiet times. When we went anywhere, there wasn't the big crowds or anything, so we could travel quicker, and obviously we didn't have to queue up for anything. No. So it was quite nice.
So it was especially enjoyable. And how did you find setting up a business here? Was it relatively easy? Did you get a lot of help?
We did get a lot of help.
Well, it started off easy, but it's but what we've learned is you must have the right paperwork.
Yes, you must.
Because you end up going back to the town hall 3 times over one silly little thing, you know, and it usually is quite silly, but once you get used to it, it's not so bad.
You have to ask for things. Nobody offers you
any help.
I think it's something you could even put in the Mijas magazine as like first 10 things you need to do if you want to live in Spain.
Yes.
You know, and say, if you go to the police station for your NI number and you want your residency, try and do it at the same time.
Yes. You know? Yeah, perfect. I think you should write it.
But you see, the history doesn't tell you this. You've got to phone and ask.
Yes, that's right.
You know? And I don't know why you've got to phone and ask. And just have to give you a list, as I was suggested, of 10 things to do. It'd be so much quicker.
I asked the other day about registering with the doctor, and they kindly sent me through the forms and everything in my name, but they didn't send anything through for Steve.
Oh, all right.
Forgot to ask about me, you see.
So when I asked about him, he says, oh no, we have to go to Malaga for that.
Oh, okay.
Because I think because the business is my name, that's the difference.
Yes.
So the Historia's got to get his identity card for his residency, he's got to get his passport and take it all the way to Malaga for him to register for a doctor, you know.
But it's good because you're doing things in all the right way, so it's really, really good. And it makes things easier as you're going along with your business as well. And you've only been open a month, but I presume you've been busy because the quality of the food, as we'll see from the images that come up on the screen, looks fantastic.
Thank you.
And one of the other questions I was going to ask was why you decided you had a restaurant of this name. I believe it was in Scotland, wasn't it?
That's correct.
Dundee, Scotland.
In Dundee, in Scotland. In fact, you won an award, didn't you?
Yes.
Quite a few there.
Quite a few. Restaurant of the Year awards.
Yeah, Restaurant of the Year. Why did you decide to keep the same name?
Well, we were originally going to be called Latitude 36, and this is even before we came here, or even chose the restaurant. And it would be, how long before we opened?
It was about 5 weeks before we opened. Our landlord sent me a wee email to say, have you opened another restaurant in Mijas called Latitude 36? So I went back, no, why? He says, because if you look in the Olive's Journal, the
Olive Press.
Olive Press,
yeah.
There's a big feature on the Latitude 36.
And it's a seafood
Costa.
restaurant.
And it's a seafood restaurant. And we went, oh my God. Luckily, we hadn't spent any money on getting our signs, our logos. The only things we'd bought were the domain names. So we've got some of them if anybody wants them.
Yeah.
So it was like a really quick rethink of what we should do, and we just said, well, why don't we call it the Blue Marlin? We have the domain names, we have all the logos.
We've got everything, so it saves you quite a lot of money at the end of the day. So.
The only thing we had to get was obviously another website built, and that's where Sandra came in.
Yes, yes, you've got a lovely new website.
Yes.
Just, isn't it?
Yes.
So people can look at that. Oh, I love the advert that I'm seeing as well, which is the Blue Marlin Seafood Differently, seafood restaurant and wine bar. It's a great play on words. Yeah. It certainly is.
It didn't work so well when I translated it into Spanish.
Spanish, it doesn't work.
No, it'd be lost in translation.
Yes.
It would. But who thought of that then?
Well,
Alison. I think she stole it from somewhere.
I think I saw it in America somewhere.
Oh, well, it's far enough away.
It's a bit like food. There's nothing new in food. You know, it's just...
It's exhausted. You're just going to make it look different.
Well, you've spent a lot of years being a chef, a top-class chef, because you've won lots of awards, as you say. There's the... now, let's see if I get this right. The Shane de Rotisseur
Award in South Africa.
I was in South Africa. Now, that's an international association of gastronomy, isn't it?
Yeah.
And it's worldwide, isn't it? There's lots of countries involved. So that was good. 3 AA rosettes, and you also got Open Table UK as well.
Yeah, Restaurant of the Year. That was in Dundee.
That was in Dundee as well. So good partnership there.
Yep.
Incidentally, how did you both meet?
We met in Aviemore in a hotel called the Coil and Bridge Hotel. Steve came along and he was the executive head chef. And at that time, I worked in Aviemore for 2 years, and I was personnel manager and duty manager within the hotel. And that was how we met, working, like a lot of people do.
Yeah, working together and getting to know each other. Yeah,
we didn't like each other much at first. She was really bolshy. Still is, actually.
Yeah, but you know...
I know my place now.
Yeah, you know she knows she's bolshy with care.
Yeah.
And Steve, yourself, you've travelled to South Africa, didn't you, to do chef work there?
I was group executive chef for Southern Sun Hotels, or later became that, But I worked in the States, the Caribbean and France. 4.5 years on the QE too.
Oh, wonderful. I bet that was a wonderful experience.
It was, yeah.
What were you responsible for?
Nothing, I was an apprentice.
You were just an apprentice? So
I'm responsible for getting all the bad jobs done,
Yeah.
Nobody else wants to do.
Well, at least you've done them and you know how to do them. So.
That was a great training. I wouldn't have missed it for the world.
Yeah.
And the funny thing was, I saw the ship being launched at the age of 8 at Port Glasgow and Greenock. And I've got a photograph of the Cunard going down the slip. And did let I know that 2 years later he'd be on her.
It's amazing, isn't it? That is amazing. Destiny.
Yeah.
You yourself, Alison, you became involved in the hospitality sector when you were 17.
Yeah, I just went to work for the summer. Because before I'd always worked with my dad in the shop and I wanted to change. So I went with my cousin to the Kinloch Hotel in Blackwaterfoot on the Isle of Arran, and we did a season there. It was fun. Yeah,
and that sort of attracted you to that.
Yeah, well, because I didn't know what I was going to do when I was going to leave school, so eventually I applied to Napier to do the new degree course in hospitality management. So I did that, and that's what's funneled me through.
Yeah. Never looked back
since? No. I love dealing with people. I love dealing with the public.
It's a great industry to be in. The way we look at it, we get paid for being out every night of the week.
That's true, and getting to know all sorts of different people.
Oh yes, and such interesting people.
Yeah.
And we've lived in such interesting places with such interesting people.
It's amazing the people we've met, or who you can meet when you're in this business. Incredible.
Have you met anybody famous?
Oh, everybody from the Queen, Rod Stewart.
Rod Stewart?
Frank Sinatra.
I like Rod Stewart.
Yeah, he's in the restaurant in...
He was in the restaurant in Dundee. Yeah.
Ah, lovely.
I'll give you a long list.
Well, that's enough. That's okay. And Steve, you've come from a family that have always been involved with pubs and hospitality.
All the way back to 1760.
So, yes, I was looking at that. So obviously somebody's traced back the family tree, haven't they?
Yes, my sister-in-law, my sister, yeah. But my grandparents are in the industry as well. It goes even beyond that. It's just one big continuous chain, really. So,
okay, so
and my son's also in it now. He's in Canada, but he's in the industry as well, in the hotel section. So.
Oh, wonderful. Yeah. Passes down from generation to generation. And is that the same for yourself?
No, well, my dad had a shop. He was brought up to be a tailor.
Ah, right.
Because his dad was a tailor. But he didn't like being a tailor, although he's very good at it. So as soon as my grandmother passed away, he sold the shop and bought a post office.
So more what he wanted to do.
Yes, exactly.
Perfect.
So.
Now, your menu looks really varied for the seafood restaurant. We've been seeing some images as you've been talking. So can you explain a little bit about the menu? For instance, you'll use seasonal products, I presume. You know, what type of things people could taste when they're there?
We've got a lovely bang bang shrimp. That goes well. In fact, I think I had it yesterday.
So what's bang bang shrimp then?
It's oriental, really, I suppose, as the name suggests. It's prawns. You can do it with chicken or prawns, and you coat it in corn flour and deep fry it. And then to make the sauce, it's pretty similar to a cocktail sauce you would have with prawn cocktail. You fill it with lots of chilli and a little bit of paprika, and then you wrap that in. Your prawns in that while they're still hot, so you've got that hot and cold. And then the base is just shredded lettuce with some spring onion and red onion going through it. So you've got that hot and cold effect. So you've got a bite of the chilies, and the lettuce is nice as well.
Oh, that sounds nice. That sounds lovely.
Yeah,
and
cool.
I think, was this what you were talking about? Was this the one you were talking about?
No, that's prawn and monkfish curry.
Is this the one that you had?
This is a Cape Malay dish. It's a South African dish with sticky rice, with coriander and pistachio nuts. Cashew nuts, sorry, on this one.
Oh, lovely.
You'll keep me right.
And fresh herbs on top. This one looks interesting as well.
Yeah, it's a bit of a twist, I suppose, on
the fish and chips, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. It's grey sole fillets, and it's dipped in panko breadcrumbs, the Japanese breadcrumbs. And on the side there is some seaweed, and that's topped with a little bit of red pepper and cucumber. It's just the skin of the cucumber. Then you marinate it in soy and sesame oil, and then you place that on the top of that, and that sort of flavours then your seaweed, and it's with sweet potato fries.
Sounds
and
lovely.
it's got wasabi dip and soy sauce with it as well.
Okay,
so.
And here's another one that Miguel's
That's the duck
put
and
up
orange.
for us.
That's the tapas, duck and orange.
Duck
and orange tapas, which is obviously they're the calamari ring. That's also in panko as well. With trying to keep that simple. That's the bang bang shrimp there.
Yeah. Oh, it looks really good. Yeah. And of course, go on, sorry.
So I was just saying, that's the tuna, sashimi tuna.
Is that the tataki tuna or it's raw tuna?
Sashimi. It's raw.
Yeah. Oh, okay, lovely. And your wine list is extensive as well, and 90% is Spanish wine, isn't it?
It is, yeah. My wife deals with that side of things.
It's not an extensive list at the moment. We've kept it quite small to begin with, but we are working with Alicia and Paolo regularly, tasting new wines, because we want to refine it. We want to introduce a few more areas from Spain, because Spain has got the wine production quality has just increased tremendously over the last 10-15 years, and you've got all these bespoke wee wineries coming up that are producing beautiful stuff, and we are using them as our conduit to get these products. I mean, we've always used quite a lot of organic wine in our list, and we have a few on this list as well. We have a couple of French ones, but 90% is Spanish.
Good.
Because you've got such a huge range here, because it's such a vast country.
Yeah.
And you've got the cold wines from the north and the hot wines from the south. So
that's right.
It gives you so much different characters.
It gives you so much choice, doesn't it?
Yeah.
And really good value as well.
Yeah.
Good value. And there's a question I want to ask you, Steve. A lot of people steer clear of, they're very reluctant to cook shellfish. I know a lot of people that are. Do you think this is because they're worried about if they don't cook it right, they're going to be ill?
Yes,
and is there
probably,
any tips that you can give anybody?
As long as it's fresh, it really must be fresh. Obviously, the bacteria it just grows and grows over the sort of days in your fridge. And you don't want to do that. Tips: you cook it rapidly. Actually, a lot of times we eat raw. You don't have to cook it. If you can eat salmon raw, your prawns can be eaten raw. And it's Japanese do it all the time, don't they?
Yes, that's true. But I suppose people are a bit reluctant.
Yeah, they tend to overcook it. It just
okay.
takes seconds, really, in a pan, and you can see when it's cooked. You can feel when it's cooked. Yeah. You don't need thermometers and things like mussels, for instance. If they don't open, ditch them.
Right.
Clams, anything like that.
Yeah.
But when they do open up, they should be really plump and reasonably firm, but not if you overcook them when they've gone chewy and hard.
Then you learn for the next time you do it in less time.
Yeah.
That's great, thank you. Anything else you want to add about your restaurant?
Anything
I know you very much pride yourselves on a friendly atmosphere and professional attention.
Yeah, it's not stuffy or anything like that.
No.
Because everybody that comes in through the door has got a different expectation of you and your product, which can make it, you've got to be a good judge of character. And sometimes you don't make the right decision, no matter how many years you've been doing it. But yeah, people are on holiday, so they tend to be happier, and they're looking for some entertainment to be talked to, and
something a bit different.
And you've got to
that's
interact with your customers.
Another reason we moved to this area, because people are happier when they're on holiday. We've mostly been in holiday areas, haven't we, apart from Dundee.
Yes.
And we found the totally different being in a city. And we just wanted to get back to a holiday area.
Because in the city, a lot of the people that you're dealing with are there because they're there in business. So their priority is not the dining experience. It's just their day-to-day way of living. They have to eat something, so they go out and eat.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I noticed on the advert that you do have a daily menu of €20, so people can find out about that.
Yes, includes a glass of wine as well.
Yeah, lovely. So is it like a 3-course and a wine?
It's a 2-course.
2-course and a wine. Yeah. Lovely.
We've noticed that normally here in Spain, because we've been coming here for so long, I suppose, very few people eat desserts.
Yes, I'm one of those, actually. Yeah, I'd rather just have the 2 courses and have the starter and the main meal.
It's something to do with the weather, the heat.
It could be. It could change in winter.
Yes.
Yeah, it probably will.
Get some sticky toffee pudding on.
Well, thank you very much, both of you, and all the best, and I'm sure we'll be speaking with you again.
Thank you
very much indeed.
Thank you.